Okay.
Thanks for asking.
Welcome back, everybody, for another episode of Fifth Down Territory, the last episode before the NFL draft. And I think we're all collectively ready for this part to be over, and we're just ready to see what actually happens. But we're continuing last week. We're going to do a third round mock. We're going to talk about some of the last bit of NFL news, with the Falcons, with the Broncos, the Zach Wilson trade, speculation. And as always, I'm here, Louie Stewart at the L Stewart 503. You know Tyler's here at Stadium Rant HQ. Clint Goss, special appearing second week in a row. He's at NFL Draft Dome. And then you always know Bahookie's here at Bahookie, Montana. So yeah, do you guys want to do the draft first and finish off that way, or?
Yeah, I say knock the draft out, the third round out, and then we'll just go into draft talk and what our storylines are and yada yada.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So you're doing pick one, Tyler?
Yeah, I think I'm doing pick one for the Panthers. Before they got Xavier Worthy, Jackson Powers Johnson in the second round. Decent haul for them. Looking at it, I think this is a decent spot for Jatavion Sanders. I don't think that Hayden Hurst is playing football anymore, and they have another Tommy Tremble is there too, who's just like has maybe one good game a year, give or take. So yeah, I think I'm going to take somebody with some size, some speed. He doesn't offer much in line, but he should give you another weapon for Bryce Young and some good yards after catch and more speed to that position. So I'm going to go Sanders here. I think that's a definite need. Who has pick number 2?
I have pick 2. So far they've taken MHJ and Nate Wiggins, right? Those are the only 2 picks they've made. I didn't see
Chop Robinson as well.
Chop Robinson. Okay, so they've gone line, they've gone secondary and wide receiver. James Conner's getting up there, but I feel like for this team's makeup, it's probably too early for Blake Corum. I'm actually really high on Andrew Phillips, but they already took a corner. So keep scrolling here. I'm thinking probably defensive tackle or maybe offensive line would make some sense here. I like Brandon Coleman a good bit. I have not watched any tape on Blake Fisher.
He had a lot of hype 2 years ago and then got hurt, and then Joe Alt became a thing, and then he basically got kicked from left tackle to right tackle, and he can play both. I think he's a good player, but like not a generational type. You know,
Fisher is a nice floor play of a kind of know what you're getting, going to be a solid player. Not a flashy pick, but a reliable pick. That's one you don't get frustrated about, but you also don't get geeked up about.
Yeah, I feel like if this is the pattern it goes, they'll probably dump something into the offensive line here. Or if they don't like it, maybe I could see line on either side, but with Chop Robinson, I think I'm going to go Fisher here.
All right. Yeah, I like
my
that.
first pick away. That's who I had. Good pick.
Wait, before we pick that, they signed Jonah Williams and they got Paris Johnson Jr. Does that change your pick at all?
So I do remember the Jonah Williams signing. I just don't feel like he's a long-term answer. How old is Blake Fisher? Can you click into this?
Yep.
I feel like that would probably sway this pick somewhat for me.
21. He's 21.
I feel like he could sit for a season.
Okay.
I feel like they would go tackle here, so I'm going to go Fisher, I think.
All right, I'm with it. Just wanted to make sure. 67 here. Is this you, Blake?
I had 68. 67 is Clint.
All right. So Clint, you're up here at 67. And Washington got, let's see, Darius Robinson, Jordan Morgan, and Jaden Daniels.
Well, it looks like I had the wrong team marked anyways, because the Pats traded up in the last round. So it's actually It's the Eagles
We should
picking.
just
I
go
thought
by
it was the Pats
we should
picking.
just go by numbers. We should just
Just
go by
let
the
me
number.
take this one and keep it rolling.
Yeah.
Let me see the. Say the names one more time they took. Sorry.
No, it's all good. Jordan Morgan, Darius Robinson,
Jaden
and
Daniels.
Jaden Daniels. Correct. Yeah.
I'd probably say something as far as the secondary. Looking at that board, Bullard's one that jumps out. I'd be interested to see the corners.
Corners and
Phillips
I'll
is a nice
add.
name there, particularly at the top of the third.
I really like
That's
Phillips.
some nice DBs to pick from in terms of their needs. The only other position I was kind of thinking there was maybe tight end, but considering you just took Sanders, and I think we've already done Ben Sinnott. Did he already go?
I don't think so. Nope, he has not gone. So now it's on the board if you
So I
want to
think the
take him
three
there.
I would choose between is Bullard, Phillips, and Ben Sinnott. That's a nice little spot for them to be in. Can you go to the? Wait, no, I'm talking to myself for a second. That's a tough one, actually. It'd be easier to find a safety later, probably. I'd probably take Andrew Phillips there.
All right, that sounds good. They definitely need some help there after not taking Christian Gonzalez last year, passing on him for Emmanuel Forbes.
I felt passionate about that. Not to play Roberto, but Gonzalez was the 6th player on my board last year. That was my dude. I felt passionate when Washington did that. That was definitely like on the tape from the live stream last year. There was definitely me being like, "Wow, got to take a lap."
Yeah. No, I've watched it a few times now, and we were up in arms about that one for sure.
You benefited.
All right. Yeah, no, I'm with it. I wanted JSN at the time. Still probably would like JSN right now, but I'm cool with Gonzalez.
Take Gonzalez.
Yeah. Bahookie, you're up with the Eagles pick at 68 here because the Pats traded up last time we were here.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, I had marked so I'm not as mad about the Blake Fisher pick because I had the Pats marked down, but it's actually the Eagles picking. So who have the Eagles picked so far?
Kalen Bullock, and Cooper DeJean, two defensive backs.
You got Roman Wilson sitting right there. I don't think that's a bad pick. Jalen Polk's not a bad pick either.
So you want to go wide receiver here? I don't mind it. I like it actually. I think they have a lot of Jags.
Would do the same.
Yeah.
So you got to figure they have 8. They're picking a third receiver here. They've got AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, obviously. So who do you like in the slot here? I'm thinking.
Probably Roman Wilson. Or are you thinking Polk?
I kind of like Polk here.
Okay, I'm with it.
I kind of like Polk there too.
Yeah,
I think a little bit more size, and I think Polk's going to be somebody the league's going to be a little higher on than the media.
I think there's a good chance Polk goes earlier than we have him going here. Honestly,
he could sneak in round 2.
I think from what I've heard, a lot of teams really like this guy. So yeah, I'm no disrespect to Roman Wilson. I think he's going to be coming off the board soon.
Awesome, sounds good. I like it. I think he does a lot after the catch. And, even though they have A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, I don't really peg either one of those guys as, dominant yak players. They're both able to do that, but I feel like that's more Polk's game as opposed from A.J. Brown being a boundary guy and Devonta Smith being your, deep threat kind of field stretcher, elite field stretcher type of player. This could be your intermediate yak guy. So, yeah, I like that a lot. The Chargers are up. I believe the Chargers took TJ Tampa, and Malik Neighbors. So we did not trade back with the Chargers in this one. They took Neighbors. They took TJ Tampa, cornerback, wide receiver. here I would expect they're looking at running back, honestly. I think Jalen Wright is slowly but surely like becoming my number one running back in this class. I think he has like the size, the pass protection ability. He didn't show a lot as a receiver, but man, he's got the speed that NFL teams want.
He's my number one running back as well, and he's a burner, man. You're right.
Yeah.
He's a stud.
That gives like because right now it's Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins, and like that's fine for your, muddy like grind it out type of thing, but he gives them explosiveness that they've kind of lost with Eckler falling off like he did last year.
But you really think that, and that pick's fine here, but you think that the Chargers are going to get up there, Blake Corum's going to be sitting on the board, and that he's not going to reunite with Harbaugh there?
I was thinking the same thing, yeah.
I feel like Benson is a better pick. I just feel like if this is how the situation plays out, it would be Corum in that spot because of that connection.
You could also say, not as far as the connection, but I was thinking, are we really thinking that Jim Harbaugh's not going to take an offensive lineman in his first 3 picks?
Yeah.
No, I get that.
So the Giants here, they've gone tackle, which surprised me from last week. They went a wide receiver and then safety are the 3 picks that they have. They took Adonai Mitchell. They took Fuega, I believe, and Nubbin, I think, was in the second. Nubin, however you say his last name.
Nubin, yeah.
So to me, that leaves I still have some concerns in the secondary. I might go corner here, but also I think, I don't think Devin Singletary is a long-term serviceable running back. I think he'll work for this year. Can you go to the running back list? I saw that Jalen Wright's still here.
Nope, that's
he just took him last pick.
Just went? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was really the pick for me here. I'd probably – can you show me the corners? And Andrew Phillips also just went, which is tough. Tough sauce right here.
But see, that's a nice testament to the value of that pick that I just took, that you just said if he was there, he'd have been gone.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. All right, just go back to the main board here. I think I might just go running back either way still. I don't know that Corum is really this high for me. Wright's my number one for sure. I'd probably go – I'm trying to think which one's a better scheme fit. I don't really know what their offensive scheme is running-wise. They don't run a lot of zone, I don't think. Do they? The Giants? Who watched the Giants last year?
It's Dayball, so I would assume it's more of like a not a spread zone, but more like an I formation type of thing. Like they weren't really like innovative with their run game past couple of years. They had Saquon, so
yeah, I think I would go Trey Benson here.
Agreed.
I think that's who I would take.
I like it. It gives them somebody at least to. So Benson, out of all the running backs, I would say like has the best chance to be like a workhorse type of back. I would say. I don't think he's the most explosive. I know he ran the fastest 40 or one of the fastest 40s. I don't see it as much in the game, like in game speed. But Devin Singletary can't be your main dude. He can't handle that workload.
I think he will this year, but I think you need to have a clear succession plan in place and not reaching hard next year. Your team's not designed around that.
I'm with that. All right, Clint, you're up here with the Cardinals again.
Who they take us for?
Blake Fisher.
You can just click on the team in like logo and it'll tell you, I believe. Or am I?
No, that's on PFN.
Okay, my
bad. Chop Robinson, Nate Wiggins, and Marvin Harrison Jr. And Blake Fisher.
Yeah.
So they went tackle, wide receiver, cornerback, and
an edge. Didn't they take Chop too?
Yep, they took Chop as well.
My first thought off the top of my head would be defensive interior.
That's where my mind goes as well.
Aurora.
Devondre Sweat. Aurora.
the only reason you could say like, oh, Swift, for example, is if it was a scheme fit, but the value, this is a no-brainer. It's a row.
All right, I'm down. That like now this Cardinals team's starting to look like a legitimate football team if these picks pan out.
It's a top 3 most interesting team draft if you have no bias involved. Like I'm a Falcons guy, no affiliation to the Cardinals. That's one of the top 3 most interesting because for there to have been so much conversation about them trading down potentially round 1, it's like I don't think that's the theme of this time. It's like this is their cash in draft. This is their jump. It's kind of like the golf term, Saturday, the moving day. It's like this is their time to make a jump and cash in picks. Like the Cardinals, they're about to make moves. It's
a good draft class so far. Looking at it,
last year, what they did in terms like the actual draft, they impressed me a lot. Gannon and Monty Ossenford. I'm like, I'm expecting them to bring heat Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, no. So like the thing about them trading back to me is if you look like they have 5 or 6 top 100 picks. Why trade? Why do you need to trade back? You have your capital that you like. You have 2 picks in the top of the 3rd. You have 1 pick in the top of the 2nd, and you have 2 picks in the 1st. Like,
if anything, I think they'll trade up.
Yeah, I could see them trading up after taking Marvin Harrison Jr. if they wanted to go get one of those like premier cornerbacks or premier edge rushers up at the top of the draft. I could see them doing that for sure. Okay, Blake, you're up here with the Gang Green Jets. What do you think's going on with them? They took, let's see, they didn't have a second because Ayahuasca Man. They took Brock Bowers, I believe. Yeah, they took Brock Bowers first round, 3rd round pick. What do you think?
This is a pretty easy one, and I kind of alluded to it earlier with my last one when I said Jalen Polk, and I said I think Roman Wilson's going to be gone pretty soon. I was planning on taking Roman Wilson with this pick with the Jets all along.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
I think that's one of the easier picks.
Bowers and Roman Wilson. That's nasty.
I agree.
Not even had a 2nd rounder
and get Garrett
some good deals. That's very nice.
Now, if you're looking at the Jets with those 3 picks, and it's Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams for 6 games,
Alan Lazard's
Roman Wilson. Yeah, that sucks.
He's either getting cut or traded. Maybe you trade him for a 7th if someone will do that. Probably not.
He's bad. That was one of the worst contracts signed in a while.
You trade him for half of a second ACL.
Yeah. Okay. I'm with that. And if Aaron Rodgers is healthy, you have Garrett Wilson, Roman Wilson, Brock Bowers, Mike Williams.
Wilson and Wilson sounds like a law firm.
Breece Hall, Elijah Vera Tucker should be healthy. Like that team's like locked and loaded, ready to go with the draft class like this, I would say. And it makes me want to throw up in my mouth saying that. So we can move on to the Lions pick. I believe I have this one. The Lions selected Adissa Isaac. Great pick. It's 61. I think that's crazy value for him. And then they also took Kool-Aid McKinstry. Their offense is fine with what's his name, the offensive coordinator over there, and the talent they have. I don't really think they need to continue to improve that. Yeah, Ben Johnson. So
do it.
No, I think what's their safety? I think Javon Bullard is
Gardner Johnson, CJ Gardner Johnson.
He went back to Philly. Yeah, he went back to Philly.
They have. Oh, I can see him. I can see his name on this draft board from when we did this mock last year.
Brian Branch. They have Brian Branch.
They have Brian Branch. Yep. And then they have one 2 years ago. The guy who picked up Aaron Rodgers 3 times. I can't remember what his name is.
Joseph.
Kirby Joseph. Thank you.
Okay, so maybe not that. They went edge. They went all right. Junior Colson. Their linebacking core is not fantastic, even with Jack Campbell. I think getting another guy like him and adding him to a Jack Campbell gives your front 7 another really good look there. I believe he's a scheme fit, rotational 4-3 linebacker. Is that right? With what the Lions run? If I'm correct. Yeah. So I'm gonna rock with Junior Colson here. So they come out getting hopefully three starters at each level of the defense again. Yeah, I think they're primed to be right back in the swing of things. But as we learned last year, Brad Holmes doesn't care about what our draft boards look like. He cares about what he wants. Because that was another pick. That was another thing. We were shitting on the Lions for taking Gibbs and Campbell, and then Brian Brandt, like they threw it in our face. They got 14 wins and almost went to the Super Bowl.
Hey,
Still,
so Brian Branch and Laporta, I was hyping them up beyond words. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll take flack for Jack Campbell, and I'll take flack for Gibbs.
I still don't
know.
love. I don't feel like he was that great in coverage. I still feel like he's a good tackler, but I don't feel like he's ever going to be like an exceptional linebacker, which is what you should be targeting in a first round pick. I stand by my stance on that.
What's it called? I got one clip of Lee saying, "Oh, the Lions are this year's Raiders," and it just that's going in our worst takes bundle. There's like a 45-second bundle of us just shitting on those Lions picks in the first round, and then we were very wrong. At least about how it panned out for them. Maybe right on value. Okay, so Louie, you're up here with the Falcons pick.
Man, I feel ill-equipped to make this. I feel like Clint should really make this pick.
All right, you guys want to switch with the Falcons and the Bears?
I can do it. Who have they done? You know, it was nice. The first episode we did this, I was plugging in the picks on my phone so I could see, but
You just missed a Falcons pick down there, but yeah, go back up to
Did
the
I?
top. Yeah, they picked somewhere.
Okay,
in-
Max Melton.
okay.
And they took, I believe it was Dallas Turner. Yeah, they took Dallas Turner and Max Melton.
So obviously they're going to go a kicker here, I think is what I would have done. So
No, they're going to take Michael Penix in the first round, like people keep saying. Have you guys keep seeing that? Like, oh, Penix is still linked to Atlanta. It's like they're not taking Michael Penix at 8. They're not doing that. Like,
Who's
get
saying
that out of your mouth.
Who's
I've seen
saying
it
that?
a couple places on Twitter.
It's not going to be Penix. I think Penix, the way Atlanta is approaching Penix is the way they're approaching, you know, give an offensive example, give a defensive example. The way they're approaching Kool-Aid, it's if he's a faller, if they look up and he's gotten into day 2 and we're sitting at 43 and we have an extra third rounder and say we'll trade up for him, which you look at the last Falcons drafts, traded up last year in the second round to get Matt Bergeron. Traded up the year before in the second round to get Arnold Ebiketie. Traded down the year before to get Richie Grant. Second round movements all Terry has shown us. So I think those are two people that it's just if they're fallers. But no, in terms of the 8th pick, it's asinine.
Yeah. Okay. Back to the pick. What do you
I don't know how
think's
you
gonna
don't
happen?
take Javon Bullard sitting there. I think with Bates – obviously, you know, I think Jesse Bates is the best safety in football. Last year, you know, the Richie Grant experiment is over. He'll be rotational this year. DeMarco Hellams was in the 7th round last year as a rookie, showed a lot of promise. You keep looking at that secondary and where Bullard would fit. You know, you look at the nickel role. You anticipate Clark Phillips, you know, assuming you take a corner 2 such as Max Melton, will kick inside. So, I mean, you're talking about a guy like Bullard, has that nickel ability, played the star role in Athens. Putting him next to Bates, that much of a security blanket, too high safety, like him as a strong safety, are you kidding? In the 3rd round, you know, guy, he's from Milledgeville, played in Athens. And, I mean, I just speak from my experience. You know, I personally pull for Georgia. Dude, he's an absolute dog. Like, he is a stud. This guy will hit you so hard in the mouth. He's kind of like the pit bull character. Like, this would, if I was in the Falcons draft room, I'd be slamming on the table saying, how do we not take this guy? So it's Bullard. If I'm making a pick here. And I think I was passionate enough that Louie would say, cool, take Bullard.
make the pick.
You're good. You convinced
Send
me.
it in, Blake Corum. Clint, take a lap, kid.
We're about to teach clinic and power move.
So they went edge, cornerback, safety, kind of beefing up their defense after a couple of real offensive heavy investment drafts. I think that's a very good move for them. I like that a lot. The Bears are up here. Louie, you guys switched. Oh, no. God
What?
damn it, Willie Abreu. I took a bet that no home run would be hit in this Red Sox game, and the Red Sox just hit a home run in the 7th. So that was annoying. All right, my bad. Sorry to get off topic there. We are talking about Chicago, right? Chicago traded back after getting Caleb Williams from 9 to 17. Got Brian Thomas Jr. So they have Caleb Williams, Brian Thomas Jr. And then they had this 48 pick from them. Got Marshawn Nealon. Sorry. And now you're up after taking quarterback, wide receiver, edge rusher.
Yeah, I think I would be upset if Bullard goes to pick before me again in this instance. Like if I'm them, I think safety would feel like a good pick here. Can you scroll through?
Another nice testament from Louie to my value picks.
Yeah. And part of it's like matching up with team need, right? Like I don't feel like the Giants would have taken he's a great value there too. It just didn't. I'm probably going to go corner here. I don't know that feels great to me. Maybe defensive interior if they haven't done that yet.
Don't let Bears fans hear you taking a DB. They'll shred you. They'll shred you.
Let's look at a defensive interior.
Yeah, I like that sounds better. Because if you're looking at the Bears secondary,
we saw him at the Senior Bowl, Louie. He's a big old boy.
I know, yeah. So yeah, that's some bias. I feel like we should reveal. Blake and I actually talked to Tavondre Sweat briefly and watched him play, and he was eating double teams like I'm sure he eats everything else, very quickly and very efficiently. So,
he's not
the Sweat brothers.
He's not. I don't think schematically they run a 4-3.
I don't think he's a fit for this though. I actually like. Can you scroll down a little bit?
Yeah.
My defensive interior rankings this year. There's not a lot of dudes that I love. I might go Hall here. I might go Carter here. Let's go with Michael Hall. I'll play it safe with these rankings.
I'm with that. One quick thing about their secondary though, they have Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon. They took Tariq Stevenson last year. They have Jaquan Brisker, and there's another dude there too. There's
Kevin
one more
Byard.
guy there. Yeah, Kevin. Oh, they got Kevin Byard as well. So I just don't see them adding a secondary player. At the beginning of the draft season, I had them taking a cornerback with that 9 pick. And I posted that to Bears groups, and Bears fans did not like that move. So I think you went the right way here with defensive line. Bahookie, you're up here with 76, right?
So they've already taken Michael Penix. So if in the event that they didn't take Michael Penix, I wouldn't hate Spencer Rattler as a pick here. But they already have Michael Penix in this universe that we're playing in. What were the other picks that they made, or was that the only one?
That was it. They don't have a second round pick, so they have gotten just Michael Penix and about a bajillion holes to fill.
I think there's a decent chance that Cortland Sutton is getting traded, and they already traded Jerry Jeudy. So I think this has got to be a wide receiver pick. And you got a pretty good selection here, honestly.
It's not bad.
I like the 4 of these guys. We saw Tez Walker and Javon Baker at the Senior Bowl.
Look, all I'll say about Devontae Walker is if he actually caught every ball that came to him, he would be going probably early second round.
Yeah, I think this might be – I think this is a little early for Tez Walker. I think that he could be a late round steal, maybe. I don't think he's going to be not in the first year, but maybe he could develop into someone. Kind of like Jermaine Burton here.
Yeah, I think if you're planning on this for Sutton getting traded, then I think you need to look for like a prototypical build at this point. And like if you're betting on being able to develop somebody, you want a 6 foot plus guy And I think Wilson fits that bill.
And you want somebody ready to play now, and Tez Walker has the hands of a blacksmith.
Yes. Great route runner. I thought he was getting really good separation in most everything I've seen him in. He just can't catch, which is like so unfortunate because that's what you have to do.
So are we taking Johnny Wilson here for the Broncos' #1 wide receiver this year?
See, I think that Sean Payton's just the person to wrangle Jermaine Burton.
Yeah, I like that too. I do.
Look, you
like
take
that
away the
player.
fact that he is
An idiot.
Yeah. He's a top 60 player. Like you're getting a little bit of a value if you can get him to act right. I mean, if you were a team like Sean Payton, that's kind of like I'll gamble a little bit. I got a spot.
I said Jermaine Burton, not Johnny Wilson.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Wilson. My bad.
No,
right.
you guys started talking about him, so I let you go. But I said Jermaine Burton. Yeah.
Word. All right. I am up.
Yeah,
with
I did
the Raiders
that
pick.
I totally annoyingly did that thing where someone's like, "Yeah, like I think I have this really smart thought," and the person's like, "I literally just said that, dude."
No, I appreciate it. You kind of recycled the thought.
So the Raiders picked Bo Nix at 13. Yuck. Awful. Yuck. I made that pick, and I'm still mad about it with myself.
Dude, I'm telling you, like I know.
I will revoke your draft license.
Not to go revisionist, dude. I'm looking at them potentially with my Falcons as an 8-13 swap. I think Raiders like Penix, man. Since they got the doors shut in their face as far as Daniels.
Penix is a Raiders player. You like Al Davis would
Penix in the silver do-rag. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
that's a good team for him to go to too, because they have weapons.
Silver grill.
Yeah, the aura would be astounding. Completely agree with Clint.
That jersey would go so hard. I have no affiliation to the Raiders.
On the plus side, if you are a Raiders fan and he's bad, you can just tape over your jersey to say penis. So it feels like a total Raiders.
Do that anyways.
The middle school crowd's gonna have a field day with that.
They're gonna love it. Yeah, no, it feels perfect.
Michael Peters Jr., another guy we talked to at the Senior Bowl.
God damn it.
Yeah, but instead you gave them the whitest man in the draft, which is crazy. No swag to one of the swaggiest teams. Get out of here with that.
I'll at least say this: when you went Nix out there, Nix is somebody, he doesn't need to go to the South with his Auburn experience and everyone's kind of SEC thought mindset with him as far as the masses. He is somebody with no bias or anything from me. I'm really pulling for him. Like, please send him out west or send him to New England or send him to the Northeast.
Don't send him to New England.
New England.
Away from me.
I worked that in.
No.
That was sitcom work right there.
Oh my God. I would have
they trade back.
They're not gonna take Nix. They're taking McCarthy at 3.
It's even worse, but not really. But it's in that same level of suck for me. God damn it!
You trade back, you take a wide receiver, and then you take Nix later.
Oh,
Tyler's like, my belly hurts.
You need to have some chicken noodle soup ready for the live stream on Thursday.
I honestly might just leave the live stream if that happens. I will not.
You're gonna have to let somebody else host.
I mean, like,
I'm fully prepared for him to be like, I'm walking off for a minute, and me to be like, all righty, we'll come back from a word.
We'll be back.
I hope the team after the Patriots pick, I hope they take their full time to submit.
Obvious,
for you, and then it's like 10 minutes of having to discuss it.
I didn't think this would be a shit on Lamb segment. But here we are. So anyway, the Raiders took Bo Nix and Mike Sandersville. Trying to get that horrible thoughts out of my head. What are we gonna take at 77 here?
This is good practice for round one. You need to be on your toes. You get flustered. You got to bounce back. You got to keep it going. All right, this is good practice.
Oh, dude, we'll be ready. I'm gonna be fully ready for this.
The Patriots select J.J. McCarthy. I'm fine.
There's nothing that will make Lamb ready for that moment.
Nope, not a thing. I'm gonna take.
He's gonna be so quiet and then so loud.
I guess I'm gonna take Bucky Irvin here. Take a running back.
Who did the Raiders end up with this cycle? They lost Jacobs. Who did they bring in?
Zamir White.
Yeah. Okay.
Zamir White is still there.
Yeah, I like this pick.
You need another body with White. I like Zamir White, but he's had past knee issues.
And I think
there's only a certain amount of mileage.
I'd be interested to know your thoughts on this as well, Clint. But like day 3, like the end of day 2, I'm sorry, feels right where this run on running backs is really going to start.
Well, it has to. It has to. Like people that are saying it can wait till day 3, it's like, dude, that's not going to happen. Like, think about that tool in your fantasy draft. And not to take it to the fantasy world here, but think about that tool in your fantasy draft that you can always like bank on to take a quarterback way too early and start it. And everyone's like, dude, like, come on. Like, someone's going to take a running back. Like, everyone keeps pointing to Dallas at 56 as potentially starting the run. Even just taking RB1 if that's the floor for RB1. But no, you're right. It's that third round little sweet spot. I mean, some of those names we've already said, Jalen Wright, Audric Estime is one I've always been really excited about. Trey Benson, Corum, et cetera, et cetera. Hell, I didn't even mention who might go first, the guy out of Texas. It's no, you're right. I agree.
Yeah.
So who's up here? Is it?
This is me now.
Louie? All right, word.
I don't think I'm cutting it off. Me. Yeah, because I would have.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, so we took Andrew Phillips, which CB, when I was looking at this before, was really, I think, the biggest hole left. So if I'm Washington, there's still some need spots, but I think you put the roster in a place where maybe you're going best player available, right? Who do you have up on your board? I really like Javon Baker, actually. I'm really high on him. Probably higher than most people.
He could very well be gone before this in the real draft.
So if he's sitting on the board here, we lost Curtis Samuel, right? He's a Buffalo Bill. He moved on.
Yep.
You've got Terry McLaurin, and then who was their 3 last year?
Jahan Dotson. He was a
first rounder.
He's pretty good.
I feel like this is the draft to invest some wide receiver later rounds. And if they haven't taken a wide receiver yet, which I don't remember them doing.
No, they did not. They took a tackle and an edge rusher and a cornerback and a quarterback.
I would go Javon Baker here, probably.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
He's my highest rated wide receiver.
Well, now that I've given Louie a couple pats on the back for telling him my value was good, I had Baker circled for the Falcons as the next pick.
That's when you know it's a good pick. See, and in fantasy, same deal. When your buddy takes the guy you had circled, never a good feeling.
No, I mean, it was going to be a slam dunk for me that Baker for the Falcons because he's really what they need here, kind of, day 2, maybe early. He's not making it to early day 3. I'm saying if they wait as far as receiver. Because, you bring in Darnell Mooney as kind of a 5'11", sub 6 foot, kind of 180-pound guy, more of the elite separator. Rondale Moore is more of the scat, 5'8", rocked up, sub 185 character. And then you've got Drake London running as the 1, and, he's the big, long, lengthy. All that to say somebody kind of in between that. So somebody – like a Baker who's kind of that 6'2", 202, 203 build. Doesn't have to be a burner because you've got 2 of them. He to Atlanta would have been a phenomenal fit. So, no, you absolutely sniped Baker right there.
What about one thing about Baker is they have Cliff Kingsbury too, so they're probably going to run a lot of 3 wide receiver sets, and they don't really have that good third wide receiver. Like Dynemi Brown, he's just a field stretcher. He's not that dude. Like getting
Womp,
Baker there.
womp, womp.
So for the Falcons pick, what about Jalen McMillan? I feel like that kind of would be a good place to
It's
go
solid.
after that.
You know, McMillan doesn't get me as excited personally, but that's probably. I mean, let's see if anybody else just jumped. No, he'd be the guy. I mean, if they took Tez Walker, I'd be frustrated. If they took Johnny Wilson, I'd probably be a little frustrated. Malik Washington isn't what you need, considering what you just brought in. Thrash wouldn't be a bad option, but McMillan would be the better pick. No, I think I agree with you. I think McMillan's a really nice decision there.
Cool. So with Jamari Thrash, I don't know why. Again, this just came to me, but like, I feel like he does nothing that like is elite, but he does a lot of things that are like really, really good. And like to me, he's gonna be like an Adam Thielen type of player.
He's a Honda Civic.
Yeah. We're gonna have a fun 4 hours, Clint.
I drive a Honda Accord, guys. Calm down.
I drive a Toyota Corolla.
It's not like I'm like, Honda.
He's like, hold on, I'm not crapping on a Honda Civic.
All reliable.
It's good, reliable, and functioning. That's what he is going to be. So
I take that.
Bahookie, you're up at 80. Jesus Christ.
All right. So who do we have the Bengals having taken already? Casey Latham was first.
Patrick Paul and Jerzon Newton.
Jerzon Newton.
And
Patrick Paul is what position?
He's a tackle.
6 foot. Yeah, he's a refrigerator.
I think he's actually going to go round 1. That's my hot take. I think he goes round 1.
Agreed.
I'm cool with that.
I think that Patrick Paul is the Commanders' trade-up candidate as far as their tackle need.
Could make some sense, yeah. I think he'll go. Where do you think? I think he's going like probably early 20s. I think he's a top 6, 7-ish tackle. I don't think he's a top. You could argue top 5, maybe. He's not top 3. There's an elite top 3.
There's a name or two as far as that tackle class that we media fans consensus going into this are going to be, quote, surprised. Like I talked on a show I did last night about how, some buzz out there potentially about Tyler Guyton going earlier. In terms of this conversation, we talked about it with Guyton. I think you could talk about it as well with Patrick Paul, to your point, of somebody that it's like, we could all sit here and say, oh, he's going to go 30, 35, and Goodell's calling his name at 21.
Yeah, that's how I see it. Yeah. And from what he's saying, teams have told him that's where they see him,
And look, this isn't his first rodeo. His brother plays for the Commanders. Just in terms of this isn't like, I got excited that the cute boy in class told me he thought I was pretty. Like, they know how it goes. Like, I drank that Kool-Aid.
He's on fire today.
He said that he's gotten word that his floor is around, 32. I'm drinking it.
Yeah. I don't know who replaced with the actual meme generator, but I'm a fan of the upgrade.
So we got the Bengals picking here.
Reel it back in.
And they've went tackle on both sides here. I like both cornerback and linebacker as potential positions here. Is Peyton Wilson on there?
No, Peyton Wilson went way earlier. I gave him to your Texans, Louie. I went Peyton Wilson and Brandon Dolores. That's what I went with the Texans.
So we got Jeremiah Trotter Jr. as the top linebacker, and who is the top cornerback?
Bernardo Green. I like Kalen Carson. He had a tougher season this year than I was expecting, so it kind of knocked him down boards. Chris Abraham Drain is going to be a good player. He's going to be like if he gets into the right spot, like he's going to be a really good player.
Well, Drain is somebody that I talk so much about, it takes one team. Somebody's not going to be afraid of his low weight. He's like a 173, sub 175 kind of light guy, but he's in the right time in the NFL here. Somebody's going to be comfortable with him in terms of their vision for him. Like I see on that board, it's got him at 130. That put him roughly at, the fourth, at the bottom of the fourth round. I don't know about that. I think to your point, and you also said about Carson, you said, didn't have the strongest year. I'd be captain positive to that and say as well as that, he's somebody that's a classic get lost in the crowd a little bit of a strong depth corner class. You could like the strong receiver class, for example. There will be examples there this year of guys that fall a little bit more than they should. That's the value picks. Like that's just part of this game that we're about to play here in 2 days. I like the way you set that up for me to say that point with Kalen Carson of he's an easy one you could peg in that corner class as somebody that's kind of getting lost in the crowd right now, and somebody could get a nice value steal.
So, Bahookie, are you going cornerback or linebacker here? Do you like Trotter or Eichenberg is going to be a good, but like Eichenberg and Trotter kind of.
Yeah, I think I like a linebacker pick here for Cincinnati. Hit me with Trotter.
All right, I'm with it.
I was going to have to take a lap if you took Eichenberg over Trotter.
I'm up here with Seattle's pick. Let's see, what did they go? I don't think they had a second. They traded their second for Leonard Williams. So first round pick for the Seahawks was Graham Barton. Such a Seahawks pick that is. I'm going to go to safety because they released both their safeties, and
there are studs on that list.
Yeah, Tyke Smith's really good.
Taylor Dimerson's a stud. Kinchin's, there's some good upside there. Doesn't have a great athletic profile. Tyke Smith is a nickel with a ton of experience in that star role in Athens. His safety upside as well. Sion Vaki is my second favorite player in this entire draft.
He's back too, right?
What'd you say? Oh, yeah. I mean, he averaged 16.5 yards per catch and 7.5 yards per carry last year at Utah as a rotational running back. That guy could easily be an RB3. You want to talk about a 53-man roster value? And then Cole Bishop, that's one of my hot takes. They got him at 132 on this board. I think Cole Bishop's gone in this late second round.
Yeah, I've seen him mocked to the Bills a bunch of times.
He's a stud.
I think I'm going to go Taylor Demison here. He's the one that I'm most familiar with. And
to take your pick at the litter of that safety group, that safety class for the value, that's strong.
Yeah, especially here in pick 82. Louie, you're on the clock here for the Colts.
Let's run it. Yeah, we got to speed this up a little bit. We got like 12 minutes left, and we haven't finished.
All right, I'll shut up.
So who have they taken? They took Quinton Mitchell in the first. I just need to see their second. Okay, so they took a wide receiver and they took a corner. So for me here, honestly, with how that safety class looks, it's kind of crazy, but I might take a safety here too. I just think this is great value, and I think I would go probably Tyke Smith here for them. I like that pick a lot because I made it.
Mm-hmm.
Is this Clint now? Who goes after me?
Yep.
Okay, who have the Rams taken real quick?
Let's see here.
Byron Murphy, I think.
Yeah, Cameron Lassiter and Byron Murphy, yeah.
Lassiter and Murphy.
Lassiter and Murphy, okay. Okay. Can you go back up to the top? Sorry, I can do it real quick.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
My first thoughts would be a tackle, possibly a linebacker. What's the linebacker class look like?
Cedric Gray still on the board if you like him.
That's somebody I really like, but I just don't know if I'm getting too excited at 83.
Yeah, I feel like
Trevin Wallace is one of the top guys that's hard to gauge right now because you hear so many that have like league knowledge that are saying, oh, he's going way sooner than we're projecting. So I don't know about that. Go back to the overall board. This might just be a best player available situation. Somebody that gets me excited. Jonah Ellis, light it up.
All right.
Yeah.
With that,
Jonah Ellis in a base system where he doesn't need somebody who's got as much weight there. You know, he's more of a 6'2", 250, 254 kind of range weight. Dad played in the league, brother played in the league, other brother played in the league, other brother plays in the league. I just like the floor there. I think that guy, you need somebody late day 2, early day 3 that can put the quarterback on his backside. I think in terms of a lot of those Rams sub packages, that's a great team fit for him. I'd go Ellis in a best player available situation in my mind.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Bahookie, you're up, right, with the Steelers?
Well, Clint, great value pick. You just sniped my pick.
The theme of the evening, the point outs of like, and snipered.
I've got it written right here. Yeah.
So they went Amarius Mims and Zach Frazier to start the draft off, first round, second round.
So yeah, I was thinking edge or wide receiver here.
Receiver class still has a couple of names in it that I like.
So they got rid of Deontay Johnson. They've got Pickens and who else?
Van Jefferson.
Yeah, I think this is a wide receiver pick. Do you take Walker or Wilson here? I'm going to take Walker here.
I like that. It'd be like the Steelers drafting wide receivers in these 2 rounds here. They might be able to fix that catching issue for him.
Well, and
he'll be a stud.
To your point, if you were Walker's, in his camp, for example, that is the dream fit for him with Tomlin, who can be patient with that. In terms of handling personalities, in terms of handling quote unquote issues or things that need fixed, it's like, oh, dude, that is a dream fit for Walker. I love that one.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Honestly, the Browns took – who did they take with the first? Chris Jenkins. Dude, I hate to do it, but I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Spencer Rattler here.
That's actually who I was going to say I think would make a lot of sense, but they already have a stacked quarterback room. Didn't they bring in like 90 dudes?
They brought in Tyrod Taylor, I'm pretty sure.
They brought in Tyrod. They brought in didn't they bring on the backup from the Ravens?
Oh, Tyler Huntley, yeah.
They brought in Huntley, and they brought in, and they still have DTR. Okay, Texans, and who do they take? Some crazy picks? Linebacker
they took Peyton Wilson and Brandon Dolores, defensive line and linebacker.
Okay, so I'm probably going to secondary here, so pull that safety class back up, and I think I'm going to pick Kinchins here.
I like that a lot for them. I like that a lot as a team fit.
He'll sit behind Ward. This is the last year on Ward's deal, and he's just kind of injury prone, so I don't think he's going to take the starting role year 1, but I think they would hope to develop him into that.
No, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
My pick's going to get sniped again.
All right, Clint, go for it, buddy.
Who's
Dallas took Jonathan Brooks and
no, it's not.
Olu Fashanu.
Take Blake Corum. That's who
it would have been if you had said Brooks, probably.
You already took Brooks, so you can't take back-to-back running backs.
Don't tell me what we can't do. This is Jerry Jones.
You do whatever the hell I want.
Jerry Jones is all in.
It's about sending a message that I have dementia.
There's a lot they could do here, honestly. They could go defensive line. They could go linebacker. They could go corner. They could go with the receiver. They could go center. There's a lot to be done. So let's just look at the overall. I think it's easier to just look at the all, to be honest, because we're trying to go fast. Yeah. Just see that somebody that jumps out and gets me excited. Hey.
Cooper.
Yeah, I kind of like that one too. Let's go BB. I like that for them.
I'm shocked he's
with some versatility.
Blake Corum.
fits their profile. Yeah, we'll be quick here. I like BB there a lot.
AJ
Word.
Dillon's
I'm with
gone.
Take a Blake Corum.
Yuck. No, AJ Dillon's still there, but he's on his last legs. They do need a running back. I think that's a sneaky need.
That's
The Bucks
third.
pick. Let's see here. Who'd they take? Kyrie Jackson and I think Latu. Yeah, Leia Latu. So those are
Future
both,
Atlanta Falcon, Leatu Latu, yes.
I think running back's a sneaky need here as well. I think that they'll take a Marshawn Lloyd will go to the Bucks. Yeah, like
All
that
right.
for them.
I'm gonna double dip. Pull up the wide receiver list here.
A lot of good. There's still good names here. I like.
Damn, PFF, they really don't care about Brendan Rice.
I was gonna say
Low grade for him.
Rice or McCaffrey. I think McCaffrey's probably a fourth, but I think I'd take Rice here. Rice or probably Malik Washington. I think I'm gonna go Rice.
I think that MHJ is kind of that role. Like I feel like they have the same role, so I'd go Washington. But like
Okay.
honestly,
That
though,
does make
it's
sense.
it's kind of sick though, because then they're just like, "Oh, we have Marvin Harrison Jr. and Jerry Rice's kids as our wide receiving core." So
Let's go
I'm with it.
Washington. I forget that they lost. Who went to the Falcons? I can't.
Rondale
Remember.
Moore.
Rondale Moore.
Rondale Moore.
Yeah, let's
no,
go
I'm with
Washington
that.
here. No, good thought. I think they'll double dip. I think you'll see them do.
No.
If they pick this many times, they're going wide receiver twice.
I think they need to. Okay. Where are we going here? That's you, Clint, Green Bay. 91. They took Blake Corum. They took Jaden Hicks, Kingsley Sumatia, and Terrion Arnold.
Of course, they went defense round one.
So, first thoughts would be offensive interior or some defensive line. So those might be two easy ones to just click on since we're trying to be fast. I can be fast. If you can just do O-line and D-line maybe as far as positions, or if I need to just – let's be fast. Let's be fast. You want to talk about I don't know. Dude, you got to do it. You got to take Mason McCormick. You got to take Mason McCormick for the Packers. Are you kidding me? You seen that guy's hype tape of him with the Motley Crue music? He was made for this.
Blake, you're up with Tampa.
So I had two names written down here. They were Marshawn Lloyd, which you took with the last Bucks pick, and the other one is Johnny Wilson. Hammer it.
All right, with it. We're replacing the Mike Evans possibly with another. I mean, I don't think that they're the same type of player, but they have that same sort of size. No one's Mike Evans. That dude's a certified sicko. All right, Ravens are on the clock here. That's me. Who'd they pick beforehand? They picked Chris Braswell and I think Ladd McConkey. Yeah, Chris Braswell and Ladd McConkey. I'm tempted to go running back here, but I'm not going to do that. I think I'm going to go Austin Booker for the edge. Okay. Louie, you're up with the 49ers.
It's Luke McCaffrey. I'm changing my answer. It's Luke McCaffrey.
That's sick. Love that for them. Chiefs are up.
For the culture.
Yeah, for the culture. Chiefs went Ricky Parasol, and they went Brandon Fisk or Fiske. You thinking tackle here, Clint? What are we thinking?
Probably a tackle. I'll tell you, in terms of a team that has the time to give him a little bit of development, Roger Rosengarten's somebody who's come out probably a year early. If he'd come back next year, he's somebody like a Brian Thomas Jr. We say if he'd come back next year, he'd have been receiver one. If Amarius Mims had come back next year, he'd have been tackle one. I think Rosengarten would have been somebody we'd have been more with a good developmental year at Washington talking about as a potentially a round one guy. You get somebody in your building a year early that you can develop at a discount price. I like Rosengarten there for a team that can take some time.
Oh, yeah. All right, Bahookie, Jags.
So where have they gone so far? They went wide receiver first.
Yeah, they traded up for Roma Dunze, and I think that's been their only pick.
All right. Yeah. So I had wide receiver and edge, but yeah, Dunze is off the board here. So I'm looking at edge.
Braylon Trice is still on the board. You get the Washington boys, Muhammad Kamara.
Yeah, that
I'm
was
not sure.
that Mohamed Camaro was the one that I was kind of looking at.
I like that. I think
I
he's a
was
little bit better than this
dying
rank.
I was dying at Connor Rogers the other day on their Edge episode on the Stock Exchange. That's my favorite draft show. He is like the highest you could ever imagine a human being on Camara. I mean, you want to talk about somebody? Every time I hear that name, I'm going to think about him. I mean, I think he's got him something like Edge, like 7 or something like crazy.
Yeah, I think he's really underrated on this board here. I'm gonna go. Call me crazy. I'm gonna go Camaro here.
All right, you're not crazy. We're in the third round. These are comp picks. Like anything
Take a
goes.
shot.
Yeah, anything goes. What's his name? The center for the Pats, the old center for the Pats. He's getting up there in age.
David Andrews.
Nope. He went to the Bengals. I'm blanking on his name now. That's gonna piss me off. Utility player. So he's getting up there in age. I'm gonna go Cedric Van Pran for them. I know center doesn't say it's a need, but I think it's a sneaky need. Because that dude is their current center is definitely over 30. So
Cedric Van
restock
Pran
that.
will be a starting center in the NFL for 8+ years.
Yeah, so I like that for them.
I'm smashing Trice here.
All right, Trice for the Steelers. Yeah, I definitely like that. He can play with those boys and pin his ears back. Rams, Europe, Clint. They went Jonah Ellis, best player available last time. We going best player available again.
Wasn't it Byron Murphy and then Jonah Ellis as their 2 picks?
They have
they also went
in round 2. They went a corner somewhere. Go back up a little bit. It's right there. Kamari
Lassiter. Yeah.
So Murphy, Lassiter, and then
okay. Can you just go over to the all board? I'll do something real quick. I think in line of scrimmage, I think Brandon Coleman's a great name right there. It's just a mauling offensive line with some great versatility. Could kick him inside, could get some tackle play out of him. That Big Bay would get a lot out of that guy right there, and they have a tackle need, so developmental upside.
Word with it. And Washington on the clock.
Number 100.
This is you, Blake.
Yeah, I'm looking edge, and I'm looking at these guys at the
Last
top
pick of the episode.
What are you thinking here?
I had Cedric Johnson, probably a little earlier for him. He's way down here.
That entire list is a hair early, but but it's weird. It's like I like all those names, but you're like, to your point, it's like I really like a couple of those.
What about tight end here?
Tight end?
What about tight end here?
Cade Stover still on the board. Ben
Sanat. Oh, he's still there. All right.
Theo Johnson is a 4th to me, but I think Sanat's a clear.
Yeah, lock Sanat in.
That's a phenomenal final pick right there. He's not making it to 100 in reality.
Yeah.
It's tied in 2 off the board.
All right.
That was our show.
Talk about some final draft news, but we're already over time, so we're going to go ahead and call that a wrap.
We'll have plenty of time to go over it draft day, pre-draft.
Yeah. So make sure and drop your thoughts in the comments, guys. Let us know who you're looking to sneak into round 1, who you want your team to pick, and come back and give us some reactions on Thursday night. Live stream is going to go up with Stadium Rant on Thursday, so if you don't have a way to watch the draft, you should watch it. If you do have a way to watch the draft, this is probably better. So make sure and tune in Thursday night. They're going to be live starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we hope to see you guys there. Have a great week.
I think we're going to start at 7. I think we're going to start at 7:30. 7:30 earlier. 7:30.
Thanks for having me on again, guys. I'm the guest, by the way. This isn't, so thanks for having me.
Thanks, Clint.
Always a pleasure, Clint.